Hello, everyone. Welcome to our fun Summerween live stream. We are so excited to be reading with you today and hopefully cultivating some cozy and spooky vibes. I'm going to welcome my co-host now. We have Shuba from Shuba Reads Books and Carolyn from Hobby Journals. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me. I already love you guys so much, even though we've never actually chatted face to face, but we're always talking
Feelings
online.
mutual.
Yes.
I'm
Thanks for having
so
us.
glad.
This is so
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes. I'm so glad we could finally get it to work out for everyone's schedules.
Yes.
But if you all wanna, I'll say a little piece about what I'm gonna be reading tonight, and then feel free to introduce yourselves and your channels and let us know what you're gonna be reading. So I have two books. One that I know Carolyn's going to be excited about, and that is We Have Always Lived in the Castle.
Yay!
I'm like wanting to start this. I haven't started it.
Yeah.
Like a good kickoff to the spooky season, even though we're celebrating the end of Summerween, and this is the start to my like Halloween reading, and I'm saying that's starting now. So I have that. And then I have this other one I've been working on called Nightmare Alley, which I think was made into a movie recently-ish. I'm like halfway through, but it's not really spooky, so I'm like, maybe I won't read that. So maybe Shuba, do you want to?
Yeah. I am not in the season of Summerween yet, but still glad I'm here. I am currently reading Unbound by Christy Healy. Not sure if you have heard of it before. This is basically a Irish folklore retelling of Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm a little over halfway, and it's a little slow to start, but I'm really liking it so far. It's my first fantasy standalone, which is crazy to say.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is what I'll be reading.
Cool.
So I have a couple options. I'm not really sure. I haven't really quite decided yet. What's funny is one of my options actually is also Shirley Jackson. I've been
Oh.
working my way
What are
through
the odds?
Dark Tales. It's just a bunch of her short horror stories. Really enjoying that so far. And then I'm also working on reading my first arc, Blue Sisters by Coco Malors, and not very far into this at all, but really, really enjoying it so far.
Cool. Is that from NetGalley or somewhere else?
Yeah.
Fun. I'm so bad at NetGalley. I've just given up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm hoping that things all go well. I mean, so far I'm really enjoying this, and I'm thinking that I'll be able to finish it off and put a review out there and hopefully keep my my score good on there.
Have you read any of her other works? Have you read?
I haven't.
Okay.
No. I figured if I really like this, I'll go back and read that. I just heard so many people talking about this, and I heard the opening paragraph of it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need that.
Okay, no spoilers. I also have the arc. I have not touched it though. I don't know. I'm really nervous.
I'm really, really enjoying it so far. Okay. I was also a little bit nervous going into it, but I'm really, really liking it.
Okay, good to know. Maybe you've inspired me to pick it up soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Are you a NetGalley reader, Shuba?
I am. I have a few books. It just depends. I feel like they all come at once and I'm not ready for it. Same with the library. I feel like they're conspiratoring with each other. That's not a word. Conspiring with each other. Is that a word?
Yeah, that one is a word. Yeah, I feel the same way. I finally returned 5 of my library books today that I'm just I'm not going to get to this soon. But I still have 3 over there. So.
2 weeks is not enough.
No. I don't know about you all, but my library got rid of late fees since COVID, and it just it's still, there's no late fees. So now I'm Well, I'm just kind of ignoring that a little bit, but I try not to hold on to them too long.
Yeah, mine it seems like I don't know if like they've completely quit late fees, but I noticed that like if I like don't return it on time, they just automatically renew it for me. So
Yeah.
That's so nice.
yeah.
You could basically keep a book forever.
I don't know if they'd let me get away with that much, but it
Yeah.
would be nice, right?
Right. Yep. And we have a comment here from Whimsical Apple. It says, I seriously can't wait for Halloween season, even though my country, Australia, doesn't observe that. I had no clue that was a thing. I guess I'm not that familiar with Australian culture, but that's so interesting.
Halloween is for all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Keep celebrating.
Yeah. We are all in America, us three. So we are happy to spread the Halloween vibes.
Yes. Yes, very happy to.
Yeah. And I have my special little like mug that's like cauldron,
Oh my gosh, that's so
Cute.
which it's like still too hot here for tea, so I have Gatorade in there. And then I'm wearing this. This is like a Halloween shirt I got from the little boys section of Walmart.
I love it.
Obsessed. Yeah.
So excited that it's that time of year. Again, it's like literally not, but that was my first question for you all is when do you officially start celebrating the spooky season? Because I'm someone who as soon as August hits, I'm like, okay, happy Halloween, everyone. Like, I just can't wait. I get too excited.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like everyone in my life always gets so annoyed with me because I'm like, oh, it's fall like already. I'm like, I can feel it in the air, and everyone's like, shut up, you're so annoying. Like, come on, you know you can feel it too.
Right.
For me, I start getting ready for fall in September, but I don't start celebrating Halloween until October. I think that every holiday should get its moment
Mhm.
because once you get to November, it's Thanksgiving, and then December, it's Christmas. So, but I will be starting my yearly rewatch of Gilmore Girls soon. I'm very excited. Do you both watch?
I've seen the first season now. I started it earlier this year, but I'm like the worst TV show watcher ever. Like, it'll probably take me 10 years to get through the show. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, no, it's so good. It's just such a good binge watching show.
I was loving it when I was watching it, but then I was on my dad's Netflix and he canceled it. So now I don't know where to watch it.
Oh, the library.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep.
Jeez.
I love
Sponsor us today.
Yeah. Have you seen that, Carolyn?
I'm sorry?
Have you seen
I actually grew up watching it, but I haven't done a rewatch like since I was young. Like me and my mom always watched it growing up because like my mom raised me as a single mom, so it was always like, you know, like felt like kind of like watching us in a way. It was like our bonding show. But yeah, I really, really need to give it a rewatch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. In the comments they're talking about the prices of books in Australia. I'm like, this is all new to me. I don't know anything about this, but Whimsical Apple is saying that they are very crazy. So that is interesting. I'm so sorry. I hope you guys are like utilizing your libraries, and I hope they're good.
Yeah, because it feels like books are expensive here too. So I can't imagine even higher book prices. That's ouch.
I know. Seriously. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was thinking we'd do about 30-minute sprints and then come back and chat a little bit more. We can do longer or shorter depending on what the vibe is, but I figured we'd start with 30, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. What is everyone in the chat? What all are you reading tonight?
Yeah. Just let us know. Paige is here. Hello, Paige.
Hello.
Hi, Paige.
Paige has a booktube channel. She hasn't posted in a while though, and trust I be checking to see if you ever post more videos because what you have posted I love. But so I'm so glad you're here tonight, Paige. Yeah, let us know what you guys are reading, especially if you're reading something spooky. I want to know because I love spooky books, but even if it's not spooky, I still want to know. And let's see.
Well, I should also mention, since you pointed out your shirt, I'm wearing my Coraline.
Aw.
Oh my God, are you gonna see the 3D remaster of Coraline?
I already have my tickets. Seeing it
I
on
am
Thursday.
so excited. Oh my
I
gosh,
actually went
haven't
last
seen
year. It was back in theaters for like a remastered edition, but I'm so excited for the 3D.
Yeah, I saw it last year in theaters too, and that was my first time seeing it in theaters since it first came out. And I remember seeing it in theaters initially. Like I went with my whole family, and I remember we got Thai food after, and it's just like the most like fond memory for me. So saw it last year, and trust I will be seeing it again this year.
You guys, I've never watched Coraline. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my God.
No.
You've got homework.
Don't kick me out of this.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you need. Do you like? Okay, well, I guess the question I should have asked you, I was like, do you like reading horror? Do you often read horror? What's
I
the
actually brought 2 recommendations that I recently read that I figured I would share.
Yeah, do.
Yeah.
I'll start. Okay. So this one is This Wretched Valley by Jenny Kiefer. Basically, this takes place in the Kentucky wilderness. So this group of friends, they decide to go into this uncharted territory and climb a untouched mountain rock area. So rock climbing. And they slowly start to go missing. And it gets wild. It's definitely horror. So very much I recommend. This is her debut novel too. So
Wow.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really, really good. My friend Logan is on here. Hi, Logan. She's gonna read this soon, I think, too. And then the other one that I read recently, I wouldn't say this is horror, but it's more thriller. Great for October. Carolyn, have you read it?
No, but I've had my eye on it. Like I keep looking at it and I'm like, oh, I really want to pick that one up.
I mean, the cover is beautiful.
Yeah, that's what got me, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is meaning behind this pink paint, but this is basically, it takes place at a summer camp, and this girl, Barbara, who her family owns a summer camp, Barbara goes missing. But the thing is 17 years earlier, Barbara's brother went missing. So everyone is coming together in the small town to find out what happened to Barbara and also figure out like what happened to her brother because it's an unsolved mystery. It's really good. This is more of a slow burn, but it's so good. Yeah. Those are my two my two thriller horror Summerween recommendations. That's all I have.
Love that so much. Thanks for bringing them.
Yeah.
Was the first one you mentioned, is that one set in Kentucky?
Yes.
Okay. I'm from Kentucky originally.
Oh.
So I think I've heard someone talk about it and I was like, oh my God, I think I know where that is. Like, so I feel like it'd be even more thrilling to me being like,
well, the author is a Kentucky native and she owns a horror bookstore in Kentucky. So if you ever go, you have to check it out.
Okay, I've heard about the bookstore. I haven't been yet, which is crazy because I love horror and my family still lives in Kentucky. So we've been talking about going.
You'll have to go. It's called Butcher Cabin Books in Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That sounds really cool.
Okay, let's see what. Okay, your friend Logan is reading No Exit by Taylor Adams. I can like see the cover in my mind, but I'm not familiar with the plot of that one. But it sounds interesting. And Paige is reading A Devil Comes to Town, and she describes it here. It's about the devil coming to a small town that is filled with wannabe published authors, and they're fighting for a contract. That sounds so good. I haven't heard of that, but I will be looking that one up. And Whimsical Apple is starting volume 2 of the Anamanga series, Apothecary Diaries. I have heard about that from Chris's YouTube channel. I can't remember what her handle is right now, but if I do remember, I will put it in the chat. But she talks about that on her channel a lot, and she says it's really good. Okay. And just got back to reading volume 11 of Tokyo Revengers. I haven't heard of that one, but it must be pretty good if you made it to volume 11.
Yeah.
Unless they skipped 1 through 10, which I doubt.
Yeah.
That would get confusing.
Right. Okay. Well, we can go ahead and start our sprints. I had queued up like a little ambiance, a Summerween ambiance video, which I found. I have like really bad Wi-Fi, so if when I'm streaming it, if it was like, just let me know and I will turn it off.
Sounds good.
And if anyone is new, we said we were going to do 30 minutes. So it's 7:15 for me right now. So we will read until 8 o'clock or whatever the top of the hour is for you. Okay. Let me remember how to share my screen.
This
Okay.
is so cute.
That's so
Spooky. I mean,
cute.
spooky.
Right? It's like spooky, but it's also summer. So perfect Summerween.
Look at those drinks.
Yeah, that's what I wish I was sipping on. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mute, and then I'll send a little note in the chat about when we're reading too, and then we can chat again. Okay, we are at 30 minutes, which I very incorrectly said would be the top of the hour. That would have been 45 minutes, but just took me a while to get there. So,
We would
yeah,
have
we're
read
at
with
30
you
minutes.
forever, so it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Maybe next time we could do 45, but I didn't know. Okay, I got 11 pages into We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Really enjoying it so far. It's kind of reminding me of like a little bit of like I'm saying the Addams Family, but I guess I'm thinking about that like the new Netflix show because I haven't actually seen the original Addams Family.
Mhm.
And it also reminds me of the book Eileen by Otessa Moshfegh. Similar like writing style of like being in the character's head. So it's going well for me so far. This will be the first Shirley Jackson I've read, even though The Haunting of Hill House has been on my shelf for like at least 5 years now.
Have you
Yeah.
watched the show?
Yes, I have seen The Haunting of Hill House show. Loved. So good. But I've heard they're quite different.
Oh, really? Okay. I really like the show. I've never read Shirley Jackson, so maybe I'll have to try it in October.
Yeah, well, I got it too. So maybe we'll just have like a Shirley Jackson fall.
Yeah.
Yes. Love that.
And
It's funny you
Paige
say.
says she likes it as well.
Yep. Yeah, I love it. It's funny you say that she reminds you of Otessa Moshfegh because she actually wrote the foreword and the intro to this and like talks about how she's really inspired by Shirley Jackson. So it makes a lot of sense.
Wow, my mind. I feel like a
Yeah.
genius for saying
Look
that
at
now,
you.
but
You just made up for counting incorrectly.
Yep.
Just gone.
yeah,
You're so
my brain
smart.
is
Points are
together.
back.
Yeah. Okay, so update me on what you guys read, and anyone in the chat, please let us know how much what you read during our little sprint.
You can go ahead, Shuba.
I can't tell you how many pages I read. I am almost at page 300, which is always good. I think it's like 450 pages. Update, it's good. I just got to a really heavy part of the story that I did not expect. So it was a little weird to read it in front of people while I'm reading it. But no, it's good. Yeah, I'm excited to keep going on our next sprint. 45 minutes or whatever.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I read one chapter of Blue Sisters, and then I was like, okay, this really isn't like fitting the vibe. So I did start this, but I only got like I read like one page of the first short story. So I really didn't make too much progress in either. So not much to say there.
Okay. Do you often read short story collection, Carolyn, or is this like a newer thing for you? Because I don't really read them that often, but when I do, I'm like, I need to be doing this more.
Yeah, I think this year is honestly the first time I've read any, and this is my second or third one now that I'm working my way through. Definitely like taking my time with it, but really, really enjoying it. It's fun just to be able to, like, when I don't know what to pick up, like just pick up one, read just the story, and not have to worry about like fully getting into something.
Yeah.
Can you guys tell me? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, can both of you share what the stories that you're reading is about?
Yes. Well, maybe not actually, but
Okay.
I don't
tell you a
know.
little bit
I've
more.
always lived in the castle, to be honest, and I've read it all.
This is a weird one. It's like about this family that lives in this like I don't know if it's literally a castle or just like a castle like house, and they're kind of like the outcasts in this town, and no one really likes them, and they have like a very weird vibe and energy to them. So the story's from the point of view of I think the older sister, and it's really like delving into her like psyche as she's moving through the town in the opening. So I think it's going to be a look at like what's going on in that house and whether it's really weird or if it's just like the perception of the town. But I don't really know much more than that.
No, that's good.
That's a good, yeah. I feel like that would remind me a little bit of the Addams Family.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I was getting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely similar vibes. Like I said, I just started the first like page of a story, so I'm not really sure what this one's gonna be about. Blue Sisters, again, like I really haven't gotten that far into it, but we're just following four sisters, and they've had like kind of like a tragedy happen that has like kind of like separated them all. And we're just like, it's so far it seems like more of a character study than anything else.
Okay.
Love that.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Enjoying it. Yeah.
Cool. And then in the chat we have Musings of Cat is reading Guilty Creatures. I'm not familiar with that one, but they said it's nonfiction, so new nonfiction. I'll have to look into that. But if you want to hear more in the chat, please feel free to do so. And Paige got 30 pages into the Devil. A Devil Comes to Town, which I think you probably won the highest page count. 30 pages.
Yeah.
That's a minute. And I haven't read Master and Margarita, but I love that book cover with like the cat on it. So yeah. I'm taking note. Cool. Well, what I wanted to chat about during this little interval is maybe you kind of already got into it when you were recommending your books, Shuba, but I wanted to know if you all could talk about the scariest book you ever read, or if you just have any thoughts on, do you think a book can really scare you, or do you only get scared during horror movies, or do you even get scared then? I would love to know more about that.
Yeah, sure. I definitely get scared watching horror movies. Like, I'm not the type of person who could like ever watch a horror movie by myself. Most of the time, like I need my boyfriend to be there with me, or it's a no-go. Books, I really don't think that I've found a horror book that scared me yet. I've only kind of like dipped my toes in. Like, I haven't read a whole lot of horror, but nothing I've read so far has really like scared me. But I'd love recommendations of anything that you think could potentially be really scary if anyone has that.
Good to know. Yeah, I like love horror movies. I think I started really getting into horror movies when I was like in middle school, and I was like maybe scared then, but I'm so desensitized to it now that nothing scares me. Like I have like gone to theaters horror movies alone, and I'm just like I'm chilling at this point. But it's kind of, it has its downsides because now it takes so much to get a reaction out of me.
For me, I love watching scary movies. My husband does not, unfortunately. So if I do watch it, I'll watch movies during the day. I find that I'm not desensitized, but I do believe in the supernatural, and those kind of horror thriller movies don't scare me, but it's the real life, this could happen in real life, that do, like serial killers and just real people doing terrible things. That's what scares me. And then for books, I do think that you can get like I've gotten chills before from reading. The book that I was mentioning before, This Wretched Valley, definitely like irked me as I was reading it. But I don't think that I've like gotten terrified from reading a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say it takes a lot to scare me on the page, even more so than movies, but I have been a little bit before. I have two of them here in front of me. Let's see. One of them is, well, It by Stephen King did get me a little bit. And I mean, I guess that's easier when there's literally so much in there that has the potential to scare you. And it wasn't like, I wasn't like horrified, but it was like I was reading it late at night and I was on like a vacation with my family. So I wasn't in like a familiar environment and it was dark. And I was just like, what if there's something in this room with me right now? And so it did give me those feelings, but not truly terrifying, especially since I'm like so familiar with this story. But the other one, and the first book that ever actually scared me, was Let Me In. This is a Swedish vampire book, and there's a movie based off of it. There's a Swedish movie and an American movie. The American movie is Let the Right One In, so maybe you're familiar with that. And I had seen the movie before reading this, but I read it when I was probably like 15, so I don't know if it would still scare me now, but it was like the feeling of actually being scared to turn the page because you know something is about to go down, which is like probably what really made me fall in love with the genre of like the ability to like make you kind of stop in your tracks and be like, okay, what am I getting into right now? Do I really want to go forward? And I think that's something that's like, I mean, you could pause a movie, but for the most part, when you start a horror movie, you're like locked in. But I think books have the ability to like, you can enter it when you choose to, but it kind of like creeps out into your life more because it takes so much longer to get through them. So I love horror. Yes.
Definitely got to add all those, both your books and Shuba's, that this Wretched Valley.
This Wretched Valley, yeah. I'll type it in the chat if anyone's interested.
Yeah, I will be checking that one out. Both of these have pretty big trigger warnings on them. This one features like child prostitutes, and it is really horrific. So please keep that in mind before going into it. And then, I mean, this one, most people are familiar with it, but this one just has weird stuff in it. All Stephen King books do, but it's like weird children in sexual situations. Not in the same way, but still just, check your trigger warnings.
I've actually only read one Stephen King book, and it was Fairy Tale, so a fantasy. I have Misery on my TBR. My TBR shelf is right behind me. But I am planning on reading it in October if anyone wants to read it with me. I've never read it before. I watched the movie, and it was creepy because kidnapping can happen in real life to somebody. So, so I'm looking forward to reading the book.
Yeah, I read that one I think last year, and it's one of his best, I think. It's really
okay.
Creepy.
Good.
Do you think it's a lot different than the movie, like, or are they pretty similar?
I actually have not seen the movie, so I couldn't tell you. I somehow haven't seen it. I've seen the play. If you didn't know, it's a play.
No idea.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that though, but I've heard the movie's fantastic with Kathy Bates. I think they're pretty similar, but I've heard maybe that the like descriptions of the like violence in the book are maybe like, I guess it just depends on whether like reading that bothers you more or seeing it, but I don't know. I'll watch and I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll read the book, you watch the movie, and then we'll chat.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that sounds like a plan. Okay, looking through these comments, Paige said she recently read The Nennequich by Henry Bean, and it genuinely scared her so much. Study of how this man thinks about women, and it's a little terrifying, and I would not want to be with him. That's how it would scare me too. Like, I don't like reading about like men being violent towards women is my favorite, especially like the more I've encountered it. And it's like very often that sounds like it's a book where that's what it's about, getting into it, but sometimes it just like comes out of nowhere and it's like another one, thank you. Yeah, that sounds terrifying. And then Logan says, I've only dipped my toe in horror books, and it's because I think they'll scare me more than horror movies. That's just me and my thoughts. Yeah, I kind of agree, kind of disagree. Just because I think books can linger with you maybe a little bit more, but if you're a visual person, then it could be horror movies. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I agree with you with that, like books, they just sit with you a little bit more than movies do. I think it also is because, I mean, movies are maybe 2.5, 3 hours, but depending on the book, it might take you days to read. So you're literally just sitting with your thoughts. So as Logan said, so I agree with both of you.
Mm-hmm. And then Musings of a Cat said, I can't do horror movies, but horror books just seem like thrillers or mysteries to me, and they don't bother me at all. So that is also like kind of true. I think there are like, I wouldn't say thrillers usually ever bother me, but I think there is a line, and there's some like horror books that are like more so like mystery thrillers, but when you get into like true horror, I think they read pretty differently. And then Cami says, I haven't read as much horror as I've seen. I watch a lot of horror movies. Okay, what is your guys' favorite horror movie then? I think what it is. Feel free to let us know in the chat too if you have a favorite horror movie.
Oh, I guess define horror. Like, do slasher films count as horror?
I'd say slasher is like a sub-genre of horror.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to answer? Is this question for us too? Is this for?
Yeah. Please answer.
So actually, every October, my husband and I start like a movie franchisee in a series. A few years ago, we watched the Halloween movies. Love the Halloween movies. They're so fun. Spooky too, but not as scary. And then last year, nobody judge, okay? We watched every single Saw movie. Yes. Disgusting. Okay, the storyline is very interesting. I think that there is a story there if you put aside the gore and just the violence in it. And I would say that not my favorite. Halloween might be one of my favorites, but the Saw movies are really interesting. Yeah, weird. I don't know if I would ever recommend them to anybody, but if you do watch them and watch through the end, I would say that there's a story there. It's interesting how like they put the puzzle pieces together. Yeah.
I've only seen the first Saw movie, but I do agree. I like waited years to actually watch it because I like usually don't have a problem with gore, but something like that just seemed so insane. And another one like that is like I still have not seen Human Centipede, and I just really have no interest in that. But when I finally did watch Saw, I was like, oh, this is actually really good. Like I haven't seen the rest, but the first one is genuinely a really good movie.
I watched that in college. I don't think I will be watching the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like it seems just more like shock value, and like I can be scared, but I don't like to be disgusted.
Yeah.
So that one's a pass for me. Some of my favorites though, I mean I do really like the It movies. I like the old one a lot, and I like the remakes. But I really like the movie Sinister. I think that's a Blumhouse one. I love that one.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
So good. I've seen that one so many times, but that was like one that when I first saw it, it did scare me. And like even past the point, I was pretty desensitized to horror. So I think that one is like, I just think it's good.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I forget about that one. I don't know why or how.
Have you guys watched I only know this because there was a trailer for this, Smile?
Yes, I loved that one.
The trailer is so creepy. I had to watch the first movie in daylight because the smiles are just too much for me. I smile a lot, but those
yeah, I saw that one in theaters, and my feeling when I'm watching it was like, oh, we're so back, like horror's back. It like another one of my favorite horror movies is The Ring. I love it so much, and I think Smile is very similar to The Ring because they both have that like we have this short amount of period until we die, and we have to figure out what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Smile is great, and it has a sequel coming out. The sequel looks a little bit questionable, but I will be seeing it.
Yeah, every time I see the trailer for the new one, I and like, oh, I forgot how like spooky that is. Something about
Yeah.
that smile really does just get you.
Yeah.
I mean, is that
There's
like
like this.
CGI? I want to know, like, do they actually like how wide can your smile really get? I just
I know.
Yeah,
I
they-
feel
they
like
gotta
it's
get some.
not, but I don't know.
no. That was a bad joke I made you guys. Sorry.
Um, yeah, there's like this short film. It's on YouTube. I cannot remember the name of it, but maybe I'll like back in the comments later and comment if I can remember. But it's like a very similar thing of this man like walking the street at night and he's like being followed. And it's like this guy who's also like smiling in a weird way and he's like dancing and he's not like actively like pursuing him or like, necessarily doing anything wrong, but it's something about being at night and doing something that you're like you shouldn't be doing. It is like truly one of the most unsettling things I've seen.
Do you guys have a movie that you watched growing up that was terrifying, that you had nightmares watching, but then you watched it as an adult and you realized that, oh, it's not that scary?
I think Chucky, like any of the Chucky
Okay.
movies. Now it's just funny. Like I see that now, and it makes me like laugh so hard that it was supposed to be scary, and it was like scary at a time, but now
Yeah.
it just seems so silly.
I still don't like
Mine-
dolls, but that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Mine for me was Paranormal Activity. I like
Ooh.
was
Oh yeah.
horrified as a kid, and then watching it, it's like it is just so not scary. It's crazy.
Yeah.
For me, it was this movie called Darkness Falls. It's about the Tooth Fairy. And I watched it. Yeah, don't show your children because this ruined it for me. It's basically about like how the Tooth Fairy became evil, essentially. And the Tooth Fairy is not good, but I just remember watching it as a kid, and at night when the kids are sleeping, the Tooth Fairy will just be like in the corner of the room. And of course, it's like raining and dark, and then you'll just see the face of the Tooth Fairy just like pop up. I was terrified. I could not sleep for such a long time because I would just like keep looking up in the corners. But I did watch it as an adult and it was not scary at all, of course. So
it sounds scary. Let's see. In the chat, Kemi said that their favorite is The Conjuring. That is a good one. I feel like that one's becoming a modern classic.
yeah.
Also like Nightmare on Elm Street. Love. So good. And we have Books and Hiking Boots has joined, and they're reading Tender is the Flesh, which I haven't read that one, but I've heard it's good. So I'm curious to hear if you're liking it.
Yeah, I'm
really
intrigued
wanna
on
read
what their thoughts are on it because I've heard a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Books and Hiking Boots, let us know. Let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
And Paige likes The Witch. I love that movie. I think that one is so good. Have you seen it?
No, but I love Anya Taylor-Joy.
Me too. So I'm surprised I've never even.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of Anya Taylor-Joy, have you seen this horror movie? I'm pulling it up right now. I need to look it up. Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I really liked it. I could say that's like thriller horror, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's a really fun one. I love anything where it's like you can't tell what's reality and what's not, and that one does it really well.
Yeah, I love like a weird, almost trippy like horror movie.
Yeah, it definitely fits the bill.
Yep.
Watch it if you haven't.
That out for sure.
Logan is asking for horror recs specifically for getting into the genre. I'm trying to think. I'm pondering a little bit. If you guys have anything off the bat, feel free to answer.
Not me. You guys are better at this than I
feel
do.
like I haven't read enough horror to know what's going to be good for. I guess I am a beginner, so that would work. I recently read "The Eyes Are the Best Part" by Monica Kim, and I really, really enjoyed that one. I like the horror elements are more like gross than they are scary. you know, like the whole eyes thing, but like the commentary in it is like, and like the meaning behind everything is really, really good. And I really enjoyed that one. It's probably my favorite horror that I've read so far.
Ooh, I've seen that one. The cover is like really like makes you
I
skin
love
crawl.
that cover. That's what got me.
The cover is like, you need to buy this type of cover.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like scrolling through my Goodreads right now, trying to like think about it. I would say Stephen King's always a good place to start because he has like so many that you can find one that's really going to interest you. I'd say I do think Misery is a good one to start, especially within his catalog because it's one of his shorter ones. And like, I mean, you don't want to be starting with this like too much. But Misery is one of his shorter ones, and it is like, it really gets you, but it's also not like paranormal at all. So it's not quite as ridiculous as some of his other books. And I also really like Carrie, which was, I think that was the first Stephen King I read. It's also one of his shorter ones, and it's just kind of like, it's an iconic one within the genre. So I feel like that's a good place to start. And then I'm trying to think of like non-Stephen King. I have like, one of the other books I really love that I think did actually scare me was The Troop by Nick Cutter. And I think that one is like generally agreed is pretty disturbing, but I'd say more so if you have a fear of bugs, which I have like a nearly debilitating fear of bugs, so it really got me. But it is like really gross and like really, that one's intense. So I don't know if I would recommend that you start with that one, but it's like, keep it in mind for once you got a few like under your belt.
These are great. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah, I really need to pick up Stephen King.
Yeah, me too. I actually started Fairy Tale and I ended up DNFing it. I got like 200 pages in, and then all of a sudden I just completely lost my interest, and it was like 2 months later, and I was like, there's no way I'm picking this book back up.
I feel like it's very different. I mean, obviously I haven't read any other Stephen King, but I feel like it's very different than his other works.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I think I just need to try something else because that really wasn't good for me.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about it?
I liked it. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And for me, that's like, I really liked it. I wouldn't reread it again. But I have nothing to compare it to his other works. And I think I would like his other works more than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have either of you thought about creating like a book club on Fable for like spooky fall books?
I am like, I have just learned about Fable, so I may do that.
Yes.
Right now, but it seems like such a cool app, and I'm going to be exploring it a little bit more on my channel, so I'm excited.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
Okay, we have an answer from Books and Hiking Boots about Tenders the Flesh. Say it's good, and then I just finished Gone to See the Riverman, and both of these books give me the ick cringe feeling. I'm only about 50 pages into Tender is the Flesh. I'm not familiar with Gone to See the Riverman either, but the ick cringe feeling, I know that. I think that's what I was trying to say about The Troop. It definitely gives you the ick cringe. It's like a skin crawler. And they also just finished House of Hunger, which I was on my Goodreads, so I typed it in because I was like, I don't know what that is, and I literally have read it and I forgot. But
I know the cover. That author is known for like horror books.
Yeah, I like, now that I remember I read it, I did like it at the time. It's like a vampire one.
Okay.
It was fun. Oh, and they recommend starting with Grady Hendrix. I do really like Grady Hendrix. He's really fun.
What have you read by Grady?
I've read My Best Friend's Exorcism and the Southern
Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I love that book.
Yeah, those are so fun. And actually, that's a great recommendation of where to start.
Yes.
I'd say His are more so like horror comedy. So they're never going to be like too scary, but it like gives those spooky feelings. Whimsical Apple said, I so want to read It by Stephen King this bad, but 800 pages long, and I'm not sure if I want to pick it up due to my low attention span. That is so valid. I think it took me about like 6 months to read it. And I like put it down a few times, but things that helped me get through it, I think if you like start by like watching the movie to get yourself in the mood and like get excited about it. But also I am a little bit of a freak and I love the soundtrack to the It movie. It's like really creepy. And I actually have it on vinyl. So I would like listen to it while reading it. And it really just like got me in that headspace. So I think that's like maybe a good way to go about reading it. But I think it's one that you just don't be afraid to like take it in chunks and go at it slowly. Cammy wants to know if anyone has read Darcy Coates? I have not.
No, I don't know who that is. She has A Haunting of Ashburn House.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't actually heard of any of these, I don't think.
The covers look scary though.
Yeah, and she has so many.
Yeah. What's your favorite, Cammy, of Darcy Coates if you've read? Because it looks like she has a lot. So if you have a recommendation.
Yeah, let us know. I'm very intrigued. I'm gonna have to like poke through these later.
I have to say, I feel like after chatting with everybody on here, I'm like getting ready for fall. Like I'm here. It's time. Let me go change really quickly.
Okay, that was absolutely my goal.
Yep.
I'll have to run to Walmart.
Logan says that her brother has read a few and he really likes them.
Oh, cool. You'll have to ask him then, Logan. Her brother is a big reader, so
love that.
Usually has a good Rex.
Whimsical Apple wants to know if we're looking forward to the second Beetlejuice movie as well as Wicked. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm so excited about the new Beetlejuice movie. The original is like one of my favorites. And I'm just so glad that they got like a lot of the cast back. So I think it's going to be really fun. And I'm excited for Wicked as well because I have never seen or listened to the musical. Like I know literally nothing about it. Same. And I enjoy a musical. Too. So I think I've just been like keeping it from myself so that like whenever I can like watch it in full, whether that's the movie or the musical, that I could like go into it blind. So I will be sat in that theater.
Yeah, I'm really excited for both of them. I love anything Tim Burton, so excited. And it looks like from the trailers, it looks really promising. So fingers crossed.
And then Books and Hiking Boots wants to know, how is Fable? Do you use it? Never heard of it, but interested now that I looked it up. I have not really gotten into using it that much either. So maybe Shuba can talk about it more. I actually recently just had a call with the like head of community outreach there. She watched my Storygraph video and she messaged me and was like, hey, I loved your video, but I think you need to use Fable instead. And I was like, okay, T, like tell me. So I'm going to be making a video about it soon of me like getting more into it because I don't really know that much right now. So maybe Shuba can let us know her thoughts.
First of all, that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Go off. Can't wait to watch that video. Okay. I actually deleted Goodreads a few months ago, earlier this year, and I use both Storygraph and Fable. Fable is more like community-based. It's essentially Goodreads, but the visuals and the user experience is so much better. Like, get rid of your Goodreads, join Fable. I'm actually coming, if you follow my channel, I am posting a video next Friday, the 16th, talking about Goodreads alternatives, and Fable and the Storygraph are on there. But it's basically a book tracking app, but it's just a lot more user friendly, and you can join book clubs where you join the club with other people, and with each chapter you can put in your thoughts and what you're thinking and talk about it with other people without any spoilers, which is what I think is great about it. It takes away the like being afraid to start a book club or be a part of a book club, because you're a little bit more behind the scenes and you can just share your thoughts, kind of be unfiltered without have to worry as much. It's a really fun app. It's also free. I know that there's like buy this book or whatnot whenever you go to the app, but you don't have to buy anything. It's all free. Yeah. And also it's owned by a South Asian author, which is South Asian engineer, which is very cool. I'm South Asian, which is why I'm like pumping up Fable.
Yeah, I'm so excited to like dive into it a little bit more.
Yeah, I downloaded it a long time ago, and like I think I went on there once and just like never clicked, but I definitely need to get back on there and like teach myself what's going on there.
Yeah, but like the reason it says buy books is they actually are like an ebook seller as well, so you can get ebooks on there, and
Cool.
if you buy them on there, you can like when you do those little book clubs and it says like the chapter, you can like comment within the book on there and like leave little emoji reactions, and it seems very cute. The only downside is that you can't like take that ebook and put it on your Kindle just because Kindle doesn't allow you to do that. That's a Kindle issue.
Do you know what like platform you'd use then? Is it like an iPad or something? I guess you would read it in the Fable app, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you read it in the app, so it could be on your phone, your iPad, or desktop.
Okay.
Is like, it's definitely possible. I would prefer to read on my Kindle if I could, but it's nice that you have the option, especially with like the commenting feature. It does seem really fun. So I'll try it out and I'll see how I like it.
Yeah, excited to hear about that.
Yes. Books and Hiking Boots said that they saw the Beetlejuice musical on Broadway. I think I've seen an off-Broadway version like many years ago, and it was very silly and fun. Okay, we got more Fable comments. Whimsical Apple wants to join Fable, want to connect with other bookworms, and participate in group discussions. That is like what was really attracting me about it, is that it seems really like a platform where you can like, it's like a community space, because on Goodreads, like they don't even let you tag people in comments. Like I have people comment on my reading updates and I like respond to them and they never do what I say because you can't tag them. It's ridiculous.
Goodreads is just so behind, and it's we don't even need to talk about it. Everyone's talking about it all the time, but it's just awful.
It's just funny to me that like Amazon owns Goodreads and they like won't help us out. Like they know that Goodreads is so popular and like number one. They acknowledge it, but they won't necessarily like upgrade or make the app or the experience better for us. I have a lot of feelings.
Right. I'm honestly like, I'm so inspired by you actually deleting it, because I made my video about Storygraph.
Yeah, you did.
But I have had such trouble switching over just because I've used Goodreads for over a decade. Like it is like second nature for me to be like, okay, I read pages, let me go log it in there. And so it's like, it's a really hard switch to make, and I'm trying, but I think Fable seems like it has more features that will hopefully pull me away, but it's a struggle.
So it's funny you say that, because I was the same way, because once you delete your account, like it's gone. And after being on this app for so long, like all of your past life is essentially on there, and like your community is on there too. But I think that what was so refreshing once I deleted it is that I feel like I was focusing more on the books that I was reading. And this is just me personally, not saying that like you or anyone else is like that, but I would constantly look at what other people were reading and just reading reviews before reading the book, if that makes sense, and kind of seeing what other people were thinking about the book. But once I deleted Goodreads, I was reading the book, I was sharing my review, and then I was reading other people's reviews. I think that me switching over made me focus more on me and my personal experience with reading rather than adding this next level of like what my friends are thinking of the book and their reviews. You just have to do it though. You already transferred everything over. You gotta delete it. You just gotta do it.
Yeah, that's interesting that that's what your experience has been, because mine is like on Goodreads, I totally forget that there are other people on there. Like I do not look at like the updates or anything. I like really use it just for like logging my books and my like little reading goal. And then every once in a while someone will comment and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot that other people can see this. So I'm like really excited about the community aspects of Fable. So like,
yeah,
I think more so maybe the book clubs. But I totally see what you're saying on your experience there. Okay, we have more comments about Darcy Coates. And Cami has only read one by her, but she really enjoyed it, and that was The Caro Haunt. Very enjoyable, but not super scary. That is okay. I can get by with not super scary as long as like it's being made up for in other ways.
Mm-hmm. I feel like atmosphere means a lot to me in a horror book.
Yeah, I do love like a gothic horror.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those are my favorite atmosphere-wise. Yeah. Books and Hiking Boots says, thanks for the explanation on Fable. I use Storygraph. And then today I bought a horror, 19 Claws and a Blackbird, which is the same author as Tender is the Flesh.
Okay.
I haven't even heard of that one.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that either.
I also really like the author's name. Just Augustina Basterica. It just sounds like a badass name. I don't know. I really like the name.
Yeah.
It's the name.
Cami says that he downloaded Fable, but hasn't used it long, and switched to Goodreads Storygraph and is loving it. I don't know why it took me so long. And then Whimsical Apple said, now that I think about it, I'm seriously contemplating scrapping Goodreads because it's so boring there. Though I have Storygraph, which I use it every so often, it definitely is heaps better than Goodreads. That seems to be the overall consensus, just because of like all the tracking features of Storygraph is like so much more interesting to look at.
You have all these. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say you have all these like statistics and visuals, so it makes reading data fun. And just going back through and just seeing like the types of books that you read and the number of books, I think that Storygraph is a lot more solitary compared to Fable. Fable is more community based, but Storygraph, if you like the aspect of tracking of Goodreads, then you'll like the Storygraph because it's better than Goodreads. But yeah, I would say that it's more Storygraph is like more independent.
Yeah, I just love the data that you get from Storygraph. Like I'm like addicted. Like almost every time like I finish a book, I'm like, okay, now what are all my stats looking like now? It's just so
Are we all friends on should we post our social media handles in the chat if anybody wants to add?
Yes. Okay. And I would love for someone tell me how you add people on Storygraph. I have not been able to figure it out, which I think is why I kind of like stopped using it. Here's my account.
It's like the actual link. You can search people on Storygraph. So if you go to community and then you can search by their username or email. But also, let me try this. I'm going to try just sharing my profile. Just see if this works.
Okay. I'll have to see if I'm even logged in on Storygraph on my computer. I probably am.
Wait.
I am.
Oh. I don't know why it's not letting me post it. It says this comment has failed to post. Oh, wait. As a comment. Weird. Okay, let me try this again.
Ooh, you might not be able to comment links for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Profile.
Okay. Okay, try that maybe. Okay, no. Okay.
Oh, okay. I have to be the one to post it.
Okay, here. Can I here?
Yeah, see if you can private message it.
Yeah, I just private messaged it. Yeah, see if that opens up. I think that should take it to like someone's profile.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here is Shuba's.
And then I also have Fable, so I'll share that. I think Fable is like weirder to share your profile with.
I didn't link my YouTube on here before, so now I'm trying to log into that so I can even comment on here.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that until now.
That's so funny. Yeah, I could also.
Yeah, I might just have to send
Send
it
me
to
the
you
link.
'cause I can't get myself in.
Sorry, we're making you do so much work, Marissa.
Oh, that's okay.
You are the host, though, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say though, like the one thing that I was kind of sad about switching over is you have to base like all of your friends are gone because everyone's using Goodreads. Like they're like you can only say so much about follow me on this or like get somebody to download another app. So it's nice that I don't know, it's nice to have a little bit of that community still. So thank you for following Whimsical Apple. I'll follow back.
Yeah, if I can figure out where the friend request is, then I will definitely add you back. I'm gonna be so embarrassed when you see the books it says I'm currently reading, I think are from April, so okay, catching up on some of these other comments.
There you go. I
Okay,
sent you a
Logan.
story graph.
Oh yes. Let me copy that.
Sorry, it took me a second to figure that out.
You're all good. I forgot to. That one is Carolyn, so I just posted. I forgot to add your name to it.
No worries.
We get the hint. We got it.
Right.
It has her name on it.
Logan came back and told us that her brother recently read The Haunting of Blackwood House and got spooked from just hearing him talk about it.
Oh.
Ooh.
Good review there.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do we have? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna add you guys after the stream because if I try and do that, it's gonna blow my mind. Oh, and I just lost my train of thought. Well, oh, I'm also gonna share my Bookstagram in the comments because I've been so bad about trying to connect my YouTube friends to Instagram. So I'm gonna put that in the comments if anyone is interested in being friends on there. And then if you all want to share yours as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I still need to make a specific book Instagram. I really need to get to it.
Okay, I'm gonna share Shubha's, and then maybe we can get another reading sprint going. I've loved this discussion though. I've loved where we ended up.
Yes.
Me too.
Fun.
Okay. Maybe since we chatted for so long, we should just do 30 minutes, and then that will bring us to just about the top of the hour, actually for real this time. Okay. Let me get my book back.
I think I need
and in case anyone is new, I have been reading We Have Always Lived in the Castle. If you all want to share what you've been reading again, please feel free to do so.
I am reading a fantasy. It's called Unbound by Christy Healy.
And I am reading Dark Tales by Shirley Jackson. It's a short story collection.
Okay. So we are going to do 30 minutes of sprints. So we'll do that until about the top of the hour. 05, we'll say.
Sounds good.
Okay. Was the if anyone was here earlier when we were doing sprints, please let me know if the video I'm streaming was choppy because my Wi-Fi is really bad. So
no, I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's good on hand.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
Also, even if it was choppy, it added to the spookiness.
Yeah.
Right.
It was planned.
Okay. Gonna get that started and then I'll mute. Welcome back. It's been 30 minutes. How did everyone do this time?
Not too bad. I finished one of the stories and really enjoyed it.
I'm not like that familiar. Does Shirley Jackson only write horror, or is there like other stuff in there as well?
From what I know, it's only her. All of these are horror. I don't think that she writes in any other genre, but I don't know for sure.
Cool. What about you,
What are you
Shuba?
guys doing with yours?
I read quite a bit. It's getting heated. The adventure is happening. There's a quest that our characters go on, and this book, I know I mentioned how it's kind of a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but if you've ever watched, I'm only bringing this up because we're talking about Summerween. If you've ever watched Van Helsing, I'm feeling a little like I feel like it can relate to Van Helsing a little bit because he's a vampire slayer, and right, yeah, no, not in this, yeah, he's a vampire slayer, Van Helsing. And
I haven't seen it, so I couldn't say.
oh, really? Oh my gosh. You should watch it. It's really good.
Adding to my list.
For like how old it is. It's really good. He is a vampire slayer / monster slayer, and I feel like the adventure that they're going on has a lot of similarities. So it's good. It's good. I feel like I'm going through waves of like I'm enjoying this. This is slow. It's picking up. It's slow again. So
that's how it goes. I read 14 pages, so a little bit more this time, and I'm already like really enjoying it. It's like it has the atmosphere there of like the kind of creepy gothic house. And there's like some very interesting characters, which is just my favorite thing. And let's see what the chat has to say. Musings of a Cat read 27 pages and dinner.
Impressive.
That's impressive. I'm such a slow reader, so good for you guys. And then Paige said, so far so good, and she'd also like to know what our favorite books are so far this year. Okay, such a good question. In my mid-year freakout tag, I said my favorite book of the year so far is the memoir by Minka Kelly, Everything I Never Told You. I think that still stands. I really love that memoir, which Monsi just read it. It was in her last wrap-up, so maybe she can share her thoughts as well. But other than that, I'll think of some others. Maybe you guys can share what your favorites have been.
Yeah, also in my mid-year wrap-up, I mentioned Alone with You in the Ether by Ollie Blake, and that definitely has to be my favorite so far of the year.
okay, I have a question. I read the Atlas 6 and I DNF'd it. Should I try this book? Because she has other.
I haven't read the Atlas 6.
Okay.
I've read this one and One for My Enemy, and I've really, really enjoyed both of them. Alone with You in the Ether is more like literary romance, like very mental health like focused. And then like I'm pretty sure all of her other books are fantasy. The One for My Enemy is like a Romeo and Juliet retelling of witches in New York City, and that is really, really fun, and it's like set up like a play.
Okay.
Like text messages and stuff. It's really unique. I think like all of her books, that at least from what I've read so far, like definitely different from everything else. But I would highly recommend giving either of those a shot.
I'll have to try it. I've been afraid to read other pieces of her work because I read Atlas 6, and I didn't like it at all. But this is good. This is good. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, and I'll have to let you know if once I try Atlas 6 if I
also please
like it.
What have your favorites been, Shuba?
So in my mid-year freakout tag, I had said, so my favorite book, non-genre wise, just I'll give you two. My favorite book in general, and then like a horror that I loved. My favorite was actually I would have never thought that I would have loved this. I listened to Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, and it is a pregnancy trope story, but it is the sweetest story. So many giggles, laughs. It's just such a romance. Such a little quirky story, and I really enjoyed it. And then my favorite horror, since we're in the theme of Summerween, in January, I would have said that it was Night Bitch. I can't think of the author right now, of course, but it's the red cover with the meat. You all know, if you know.
Like Rachel Watt.
Rachel Yoder. Yes, thank you. But I recently read, and I know that Marissa, you just read it because you just did a whole vlog on it, but Chlorine by Jade Song, I absolutely loved it. I can't wait to just like reread it again. It was so weird to me, and it was so good. So yeah, those two are my top twos for the year. If I had to pick.
Chlorine was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to make a video explaining how my ranking works, because I rated that one 3 stars, which to me is not a bad rating. Like I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I think some people watch my video and they're like, oh, I guess I won't read it since you didn't like it. And I was like, I did like it. But my 3 was just like, it came down to some of the writing aspects that was just like, wasn't my favorite, but I still think it was a really fun one. I'd say my favorite horror this year was from the same vlog of my mermaid reading vlog. I really liked Into the Drowning Deep. And I said in that one that it's like maybe not for everyone because it is just so scientific. I like saw some reviews of people being like, this is boring, which like if you don't care about the science, I see that. But I really liked it and I thought the thrills were good.
Yeah,
So-
I love that one as well.
You both read it? You did too?
Yeah.
Okay, it's so funny because I'd never heard of this story before. And a week prior to your video, my sister was like, I got that. We both share like an Audible account. She's like, okay, I got this book on Kindle and Audible. You should really read it. I'm rereading it. And I was like, oh, okay, like it sounds really interesting. Like I'll get to it. And then a week later, you talked about it. And I was like, what are the odds? How weird. So I'll definitely be adding that because it sounded really good. And clearly both of you really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Jason here said, Be My Friend by Meek Watson. Jason, I don't know if that's what you are currently reading or if that's your favorite from the year, but I have not heard of this one, so I'm interested to hear more about it. And then Whimsical Apple wants to know, since we're talking about horror, if we've played any horror or suspense thriller video games. And I've played the Saw game on PS3. Like I never finished it, but that was fun. And
I had no idea there was a Saw game. That sounds
I don't know if I
wild.
wow. I have no words.
It's fun. It's kind of like an escape room vibe. Like obviously in Saw, you're like trying to get out of the traps. And then I've played, which I like genuinely think this is so much fun. Five Nights at Freddy's on the VR like system. So scary. Like it's like scary in general, but being in VR, like you're in that room, it's like my heart is racing. So those are really the only ones I've played.
Yeah, I don't know if I've played like a little bit of like the like Friday the 13th games, like I think like, but I don't really know that I've like fully played because I never even got into Five Nights at Freddy's like when I was younger or anything. So I really should try some out though.
I know if you have any recommendations, please let us know because
Yeah.
I like want to get into it more, but I'm just like I have a hard time like committing to games or like shows. I'm usually watching movies or I'm reading, but if something like really captures my attention, then I do love gaming.
I don't play horror games, but I did watch. I like sit and watch the games. So my husband, he was playing Last of Us, I think 1 and 2. He did play those. The closest to horror I would say maybe that I've played is all of the BioShock games. I normally don't beat games either, and surprisingly, I beat BioShock. So really, kudos to me. So yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Finishing any game is a feat. I get almost to the very end of every game and then just never come back to it every single time.
Right. That's how I am too. Monty said she actually finished. I don't know if you saw her initial comment where she said she had 30 minutes left in her chapter, and she actually finished her 30 minutes, but don't think she would have without the sprints. So thanks for the motivation. She's reading Crooked Kingdom. I would love to know how far you are into it, because I know you said in your like wrap up or TBR video that you're gonna start it. So did you just start it, or are you like kind of deep into it? Let us know. And Whimsical Apple's talking about how their favorites from the year have been mostly thriller. Please give some suggestions, because I have been struggling to find good thrillers recently. I'm kind of picky when it comes to the thriller genre, but I'm always open to hearing more. So I would love to know what your favorites are. And then Books and Hiking Boots said, my favorite book of the year was A Little Life. Dang, I have not read that one. Have you guys read it?
I own it, and I'm just like, I feel like you have to. So they say, I don't know who they is, but just people who read it, they say that you need to be in a really good like headspace and just understand what you're getting yourself into. And I am just so scared to pick it up. I just know that you're gonna feel all the feels, and it's not like an easy book to get through. And so I just haven't. I have it. I've been wanting to read it for a long time. I think you just need to start.
I know. That's like, hearing about how sad it is one thing,
Yeah.
but I also am like, I have like big book phobia, so it's like a double whammy there where it's like,
you read it.
Yeah, what?
I know. I read like one big book a year, and I'm like,
you're done for the year then.
Yeah, actually. We have Keys, Looks, and Books. Hey, girl. Thanks for joining. She's recovering from a post 5-star slump, so she's not sure what to pick up, but she'll share when she decides. I want to know what the 5-star book was. That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Mark says, Alien Isolation for a sci-fi scary game. Never played, but heard it's great. That's fun. I've been trying to get into more sci-fi things recently, so like, sci-fi games sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Whimsical Apple says, I don't think I'll ever read A Little Life because of the trauma porn. That's what I hear. And I think that's fair. I don't even know even a little bit what it's about, even other than it being sad. So I'm like, I could see myself accidentally being like, well, I'll read it, and then not really knowing what I was into. Books and Hiking Boots says, A Little Life was incredible. Highly recommend. People say it destroys you, but I did not feel that way. I loved it.
Okay.
It's the first time I've heard that.
This is very different than what we've been hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is in me, but I'm like, I've convinced myself, I'm like, maybe it's not that sad. Like, maybe it'll be fine. So now you've just like doubled down that feeling inside of me. So maybe I will pick it up and we'll see. Paige said her favorite is Between Ex-Wife by Ursula Parrott or I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I've heard so many people talking about that one recently, and I am so interested in picking that one up. Have either of you all read it?
No, I've been keeping my eye out for it every time I go book shopping, though, because I have really been itching to. Every time I hear someone talk about it, it's just like the highest praise, and it sounds so interesting.
Have you read it, Shuba?
No, I haven't. Sorry, I was shaking my head.
Oh, you're good. Monty is halfway through Crooked Kingdom and really enjoying it. Not a 5-star, but still fun. Fair. I haven't read that one. I read Six of Crows, and I thought Six of Crows was a 5-star, but if I recall, I think Monty gave it 3 stars, maybe.
Wow, that's impressive that you remember that.
Yeah.
I am so locked in. I watch your videos all the time. I'm taking notes. I'm learning things, which is gonna be really embarrassing if she gets on here and she's like, "I did not rate it 3 stars." Um, she said, "I who have never known men" is also a fave of the year. I do remember you talking about that one in one of your vlogs, also. So I hope I probably won't pick that one up this year if I'm being honest, because I'm kind of reading my TBR for the rest of the year, and I'm trying to keep it to my physical TBR. So, but maybe if I find an audiobook, I might. Key said the 5-star was Babel. Put it off for so long, then bodied it once I gave it a chance, and nothing has been as good. It's been weeks. Okay, I've heard that one is like a really big hit for a lot of people. Have you guys read?
I read it, and I think I'm just too dumb for it. I didn't like it at all. I like Yellowface. Like, I like R.F. Kuang. I just don't think was smart enough to read Babel. I don't know. Yeah, I can't even tell you what it's about. I really don't. I can't tell you what it's about. Yeah.
That's so funny. I have not read it. I did read Yellowface, and I really liked Yellowface.
Yes, loved Yellowface.
I just haven't really had interest in picking it up. I think it seems very heavily historical, but also, is it fantasy? I don't really know, but that's like what I've gathered from what I've heard, and it has just always intimidated me, especially since it's another thick one. So I don't know, but I'll be convinced. Books and Hiking Boots thinks it's great. So we got another vote. And they also like House of Leaves. I have been wanting to read that one. My brother just read it with his book club, and they really enjoyed it. And as a graphic designer, I'm so fascinated by that book, and like the layout of typography like plays into the story. So I think like when I'm ready to give it my full attention, I will fly through.
Yeah, I flip through that one at the bookstore a lot and get really tempted. And I've just heard it's so scary, actually. Like, a lot of people say it's like the one book that actually really scared them. So
really?
Yeah.
Guys, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm gonna Google this right now.
So House of Leaves is a horror book that has like a very unconventional like the page layouts, which in part plays into horror. I don't know much about like the actual story. I know it's like, I think there's like a few different narratives going on in the book, and maybe it's like a frame story situation. I don't actually know though. But I have heard that it's scary as well.
I think it's like the house is like bigger on the inside than it is on the outside, like hidden rooms and stuff. And then like the kids, I think, like get lost or something. They're like hearing something. I don't remember exactly. But, yeah.
Books and Hiking Boots said it was the hardest book they've read, and the first 100 pages really had to do research on and annotate. It does seem like quite the feat. It's very thick as well, and it's like not linear from what I understand. Key was saying that. Oh wait.
No.
Key was saying, what's crazy is I couldn't finish Yellowface, so it might just be a preference thing.
Maybe.
Valid and fair. Whimsical Apple wants to know if we've read any books written by Frida McFadden.
I love Frida McFadden. I just, she's so fun. They're so fast paced. I listen to a lot of her audiobooks. I don't like physically read them. But Frida McFadden got me through my half marathon training. She did. Wow. I listened to a lot of her books. Yeah. There
you go. I think you guys know how I feel. I've only read The Housemaid, and I did not enjoy it, but
that's okay.
I do see like the very like valid point of them just being like very fast paced and easy to get through, which I think there's a time and place for books like that, and it's not like, I don't think that was played really a part in why I didn't like it. I think actually that was the one aspect about it I did like, but I think personally they're not for me, but I've only read the one, so I could change my opinion in the future.
Yeah, I had the same experience as I read Never Lie and really wasn't really a fan. of it, but it was like I read it in a day. Like obviously, like I had some fun with it, but it's like I just got to the end and I really was disappointed by the ending. Is what really got me.
If you are a fan, let us know which one's your favorite, and if you can convince me and Carolyn to try again.
Another one.
Books and Hiking Boots says read most of Frida McFadden and love her stuff. It's like a very hit or miss thing, I think. So
Yeah.
Tuba is in the same campus.
Can't read Babel, will read Frida.
There you go.
Yep.
Scared to read Babel, won't read Frida.
Right.
And then he said, with House of Leaves, there are multiple stories happening at the same time. You can't skip the footnotes. Interesting.
I feel like that's how it is with Babel too. She has footnotes at the bottom that are very important to the book. I'm sorry, we keep going back to Babel.
That's okay. Interesting. So another question I wanted to ask you guys is if you have anything picked out for your fall TBR this year that you already know for a fact that you're gonna read. And those in the comments, please tell us about your fall TBRs as well.
I had to look back on my bookshelf because I know that I've picked stuff out, but I'm trying to remember now.
I don't necessarily know for fall yet, but I am planning on reading A Botanical Daughter. I can't remember who the author is. I'll post it in the chat. But it's basically about how there's these two men. One is a taxidermist, and then the other one is a botanist. And I don't know how they're related to each other or if they are, but they basically build this human out of plants and taxidermy. That's what I'm getting from the back of the book. So we will see. I try not to read too much of the back of a book. So I go into books kind of blind, but it just seems creepy. So that's next on my list of horror.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I'll find the name.
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking I want to either read Frankenstein or Dracula this year, and I really haven't decided which. So if anyone has read either of those, let me know which one you think I should start with. Oh, we already got it.
Well, Books and Hiking Boots says they're reading Dracula's here, so there you go. I have not read either, actually, but I've heard Dracula is pretty hit or miss since it's an epistolary novel. It's told in letters. But I've heard everyone I've heard who has read Frankenstein has really loved it.
Yeah. So. And I think that one's a little bit shorter. So I'll read that one. Oh,
they didn't like it.
That was crazy timing.
Yeah.
Well,
I really need to read Dracula since I am a vampire lover. I just heard so many people say they don't like it, so I've been put off. But I am planning on reading Carmilla this fall, which I've only heard good things about, and I already have a copy, so I'm excited about that one. Which is the precursor, came before Dracula, and it's women.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I really know about the story.
The OG vampire story.
The OG. Other than that, I don't have any plans. I'm just trying to stick to my physical TBR, and I have quite a few horror on there, but I don't know which yet. Oh, I think actually Pet Sematary by Stephen King is one that I'm going to try. Paige says she always rereads The Secret History in the fall, and she wants to read the new Mona Awad book, Rouge.
Rouge is on my list.
Yes, and so is Bunny, which I'm when am I going to read that?
Yeah, that reminds me that I actually literally have Bunny right here because that was going to be maybe. I was thinking about possibly starting this, but I was like, no, I won't start another book yet.
Bunny is the weirdest book.
I love weird, so that's just
I think you guys will I think people either really like it or people don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested for you guys to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and another one that I will be reading with Carolyn Bride, we said we were gonna do a
Yes.
Yes.
So
I
I'll have to
just
message
loaned
her.
that out to a friend, so right when I get that back, I'm gonna be hounding you.
Okay, let me know. Key said their fall TBR is If We Were Villains, Ninth House, and Atlas 6, and that's what they have on their physical TBR. I haven't read any of those. Was the Atlas 6 the one you were just talking about?
Wait, you hated Ninth House? I did not finish it.
Yeah, I was not a fan of Ninth
Okay.
House.
I think maybe I just don't like Dark Academia, because if I didn't like Atlas 6, I started If We Were Villains, and then I got rid of it with The Secret Society by Donna Tartt, because I was like, I don't think these are for me. And then I tried Ninth House and I could not finish it. So
Yeah.
maybe that's it.
Okay,
Yeah, it was hard to get through, and I got to the end and I was like, that wasn't worth pushing myself
That
through.
makes me feel so much better, because everyone loves Ninth House.
Yeah, I got like, yeah, I don't really understand the love on that one, but
I'm gonna chat you later, because I want to know the ending. So you just tell me.
Yeah.
I'll message you later.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't read that one. I haven't read a lot of Dark Academia either. I've read last time my club read These Violent Delights, not the YA fantasy one, but the Dark Academia one, and I really did not like it. So I'm like, well, maybe I don't like Dark Academia either, but I haven't really explored the genre enough to know.
Yeah, that's really the only true one I've read, so maybe I don't like it either.
Cami loves Dracula and Paige loves Carmilla, so we got a lot of vampire lovers in the chat. And then Books and Hiking Boots almost got Carmilla today when they were in the Harvard bookstore. Now I wish I got it. I've only heard good things about Carmilla, so I'm really excited for that one. And it is quite short. I don't know where it is, but yeah. Keys read Bunny and agrees that it was a wild ride. Oh, and Paige also loved Bunny. I think I'm like so sure I'm gonna love it, which is like I think what has made me so hesitant to read it, because I'm so scared of being disappointed.
Yeah.
And Cami wants to know, do we have any fall bucket list items like pumpkin picking, apple picking? Yes, all of the above. And I have told all my friends already that I'm declaring this the fallest fall of all falls. Like I'm ready to do all of the activities, because every year I'm like, I'm going to do all these things, and then it gets too late. I'm locking in this year. I'm doing them all. And starting with this week, I'm going to bake some pumpkin scones.
Yum.
Send some over.
Right?
Wow.
What about you guys?
Go for it. You start.
I really don't know if there's anything specific. I am going to Disney for Halloween this year, and so really excited for that.
Wow.
Disney is so fun during Halloween. That's like I think I went when I was like in high school. It was Halloween and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I went on like a Disney cruise when I was like way younger for Halloween, and that was so much fun. So really excited for this.
Land or world?
World.
Okay, fun.
Yep, really excited for that. What about you, Shiva?
You guys, I'm still in summer. My birthday's on Sunday, not Friday. My birthday's on Sunday. I'm still living this summer high, but I know I mentioned this. I'm gonna start my rewatch of Gilmore Girls, and that's like my fall winter show. So I will be restarting that, and yeah, that's really it. I have no exact plans, but I'm just ready for the cozy vibes after the 18th. After the 18th. Yeah.
We'll allow you to have your birthday first.
Thank you. As a Leo, it's about me all week.
Yep.
Yes, of course. Saying hi to Paulina, who has joined our chat, and they're reading The People in the Trees tonight. I'm not familiar with that one.
That sounds spooky.
He said that we made her talk about PCR.
No, I'm so sorry. No.
Don't include me in that, because I haven't read any of them, so I don't know.
Hey, to each their own. Everyone has different tastes. You could love the stuff that we hate, so.
honestly, I really wish I loved everything that you're loving. I do. So
Paige also said Ninth House was just okay, but Hellbent was terrible, so she won't be continuing the series. I've heard mixed things about Hellbent. I feel like I've heard mostly negative things, but I know someone who really liked it, so I'm like, I don't know. But Paige is a Dark Academia stan. So, please make a new video giving Rex because
I'm
we
tuned
need
in
to get-
already.
yes,
Mhm.
convert us, me mostly.
Yeah.
Whimsical Apple wants to know if we have any planned costumes or outfits for Halloween. I am such a costume lover. Like I go all out. I love it, and I have to think for just a moment. So I want you all to answer because I have to go get my laptop charger. So I'll be right back.
Do you have any plans?
No, a few years ago we were Bob and Linda from Bob's Burgers, and then last year we were the characters from What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know what we're gonna
I've
be
never
this year,
seen
though.
that.
Oh my gosh! I think you might really like it. It's
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
basically a mockumentary about vampires that live in,
Oh,
I think, New York City. I think you'd like it a lot.
yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
perfect.
It's on FX/Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
be watching
This
it.
year is the very last season of the show. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I don't have any costumes planned. I think I really don't know what I'll be wearing. I don't think I'm gonna do like full costume at Disney or anything, but I've got like it'll probably be too hot, but I've got like a cute little Sally sweater from Nightmare Before Christmas. And if
Aw.
it's chilly enough to throw that on, I will make that work.
Yeah, I still don't know. I don't have any ideas yet. Last year, my boyfriend and I were Jack and Rose from the Titanic, and I feel like we really bodied it. So now
Love
I'm like,
that.
how do I follow that up? But I think I've been a few years where I haven't done something really spooky, so I think I'm gonna go back to my like horror roots and hopefully do something scary rather than cute.
Well, I'll love to see that.
Cami is a hater of the Grishaverse. I know this because I am also a hater. I do like Six of Crows. I really did not like the Shadow and Bone trilogy. So that's kind of made me hesitant on picking up her other books, but I'm really interested in The Familiar and like maybe Ninth House.
Yeah, I
Have you
have
all
Six
read
Crows sitting on my shelf, but I have not picked it up yet. Since I read Ninth House, now I'm kind of nervous to like read another Lee Bardugo, but
Yeah. I bought The Familiar like the day it came out, and then I read Ninth House, half read it, not even. And now I'm just so nervous to read Familiar. But I think it might be a little bit different. I don't know. I hope so. Somebody let us know.
Yeah, well, I think, like I said, I've read Six of Crows and I really did like it, and I think it is so wildly different from Shadow and Bone. So I think like Shadow and Bone, as far as I know, was her first like novel series, and I think it just like it was very undercooked. And I think by the time she got to Six of Crows, she was just much improved. So I really like that one, and I'm open to the rest. And he said her best friend is hosting a Clue themed Halloween party. So they're going as characters from Clue, and she's gonna be Miss Scarlet. I'm obsessed with that. I've been wanting to do like a murder mystery dinner for so long. Like I want to theme it very elaborately and plan it all out, but just haven't had the time.
yeah, that sounds really fun.
Okay. It says, don't know if anyone knows the movie The Dark Crystal, but my fiance and I are going as that. I have not seen it, but I am familiar. My friend loves it, and I was in I studied graphic design in school, and we had to do some drawing classes, and he drew like the puppet from it in one of our classes, and it looks crazy. So I need to watch that. Sorry. Okay. else? Paige is also a lover of What We Do in the Shadows. I've been meaning to watch that one. It looks really funny.
It's so good. I was just saying Carolyn about it. Well, you got your charger. It's really funny. I think you'd like it too, actually.
I love like pretty much any vampire media. I love it. I love romance, I love comedy, and I love horror. Anything vampire, I'm eating it up. So okay. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up soon because it's getting quite late. So we don't have time for another reading sprint, but I've had so much fun chatting with you guys, and now I'm like, officially, it is fall. I'm there. I don't care what anyone says. I'm baking my pumpkin scones. I'm reading my horror books, and I'm ready.
I love
sorry,
this for
Shiva,
you.
but
Okay, just give me 7 days and then 8 days next Monday. Give me 8 days and I'll be there.
all right, you can meet us there.
Yes.
Do you have any specific birthday plans?
Just 31, you know, it just get older and older every year. Just going out with friends Friday, and then Sunday just dinner with my family, just relaxing. Maybe stopping by a few bookstores, because I'll be getting birthday gifts, hopefully gift cards. We'll see. My husband's watching, so hopefully he gets the hint.
Dropping hints.
Yeah. But no big plans, just hopping around town, grabbing some wine, hopefully. I really like wine, so yeah, it should be a good birthday. I'm excited. 30s are great so far. It's only been 1 year, but I've loved it.
I'm so glad to hear that, and I hope you have a very magical birthday.
Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful birthday.
Thank you.
And bye to everyone in the chat. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for Apple. I have loved hearing everything you've said in the chat, and it's like blowing my mind that you're going to class right now, but I guess you're in Australia, so that makes sense. So good luck with that.
The real MVP for watching in from Australia.
Yeah.
And bye, Paige. I have had so much fun chatting with you again. I really hope you make your Dark Academia Rex video, or any video. Just I need to see more. Okay. Well, thanks again for coming, and hopefully I'll do more sprints. And I'm so bad at like scheduling them, but every time I do one, I'm like, oh, this is so fun. I'll be doing it again.
Yeah, it was my first one. It was so fun. Thank you for having me. And it was so good to chat with everybody and meet some new friends.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is so fun. And also my first one, so.
Wow, I'm just so honored to be hosting your first.
Look at you go. Now you just need to fall in love with Fable and start a book club.
Right. Well, I will be seeing all of you all on Storygraph, Fable soon, hopefully Bookstagram, and I'm so excited to keep in touch. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.